What's up, y'all? Sorry I didn't do a video the last few days, but today we are reviewing Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. This is the movie that Guy Ritchie had coming out, and I just remember it looking good, and man, was it good. I really like it. It's not my favorite movie of the year, but it's definitely up there. It has like the dynamic of Henry's team, him, the other officers, Alan Richardson, and the other officers were all great. I love. There's probably my favorite part of the movie. But Elsa Gonzalez, I think is her name, or Eliza Gonzalez, one of those. She as I don't remember her name, but I thought her character was great. The villain was probably the only weak part. But I really did enjoy it. Apparently, this is actually based off a real story. I thought the actor who played Winston Churchill was good. Even got Ian Fleming in there, who wrote the James Bond books. So that was a cool little Easter egg. The action was great. I thought all around he had fun characters. It was also interesting because normally, especially when they do Nazi stuff, they usually talk about it, when it's Nazis occupying Europe. But so the fact that they actually touched on them occupying Africa was kind of interesting. So it was like a nice change of pace. So basically, the plot basically is Winston Churchill wants to do Operation Postmaster and gives the green light to Carrie Elways to basically make a team who will help them because they want to get America to join in on the war effort. So this is basically, kind of like a little bit early World War II-ish, essentially. So, but I love the action. I love the team dynamic. You got a lot of the Guy Ritchie-isms, like especially when it comes to like forming a team or a group of people coming together. You have those isms in the movie. Fun characters, fun banter between the groups. Each character, Eliza Gonzalez, the whole scene where she says she's a Jew to fool the bad guy was really well done. Like I said, the bad guy is like the only negative. I guess, still happy 420. The only negative, like I said, I really have with the movie is the villain. He really felt like a non-factor, I wish they did a little bit more to give him a bit more screen presence. And maybe that's not what this movie was necessarily about. But I think a little bit. Just give him a little bit of presence. Just because I do love the final act where they end up destroying the warships. Nazi ones. And the scene where you think they're getting arrested, but then they're actually getting celebrated because of what happened. And then with Japan attack, they mentioned Pearl Harbor, that America joined in on the war effort, and it actually hurt the Nazis. So I did like that. So awesome movie, man. I just think it was it's what we needed right now. Just a nice, fun movie. Guy Ritchie is one of those directors who I can just be like, okay, I know he's gonna give us something fun when it's his movie. I don't count. We don't talk about that Aladdin shit he did. So I think this one just straight up, like honestly, this was his movie. And as nice as to see Henry Cavill be the lead of something and it not get ruined, it not be like a bait and switch, or it just be like him getting wasted. It's actually a fun movie. So overall, awesome movie. Even with Alan Richardson, who's kind of saying he's just kind of a piece of shit now, just saying some, just attacking people nowadays. But whatever. Overall, it's an awesome movie. If I had to give it a rating, probably in the 9 out of 10 range. I think that's where I'm at right now. I'm definitely gonna watch it again because I really did like it. I kind of just, I like awarding movies that deserve it. Like, if it's good, I'll go see it again. And actually, or this time I'll go give it money, So, or I'll give it money again. So I'm gonna go see it again. So, I'm gonna see Abigail, but I'm probably not gonna see until really late tomorrow. So I'm probably not gonna review it tomorrow. So I'm still do a video. I'm probably gonna just review Snatch. I'll watch Snatch like tomorrow again, and then I'll review it tomorrow. I'll just review it Thursday, but I just couldn't get to it, so we'll do it. I did watch it, but I had watched it very low, so I'll watch it again. But I actually have the volume up, so we'll watch it, and then I'll review it tomorrow. I'll try to review it like maybe in the afternoon or something. So maybe I'll try to. I actually might even watch it tonight. We'll see how I'm feeling. If I don't watch it tonight, I'll watch it really early tomorrow. Um, then, uh, um, yeah, and that's what I'll do. And then Monday, most likely, or sometime next week, I'll try to do it Monday though. Will be my review of Abigail. Um, plan on review. I might do The Covenant on Tuesday, the Guy Ritchie movie, because I do want to watch it since we just did this one and I'm doing Snatch tomorrow. So why not just do that one? So we'll do that one on maybe Tuesday. So anyway, let's get into the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. So the movie basically goes into the background of World War II. Well, not all of World War II, but the Britain has been trying to take out down the stronghold of the Nazis on Europe, but they just couldn't do it. And America at the time wasn't involved with the war yet. So Winston Churchill, who's not in the movie a lot, but the few scenes you do get of him, I thought he was pretty good. I thought he really pulled it off. He had the bravado. Obviously, I don't know the guy. I've read about him, and learned about him in history and stuff. But I thought he pulled just for the bit, especially towards the end. I thought he pulled it off very well. So, Carrie Elways, he gives the okay to basically get a group together, and then this is where we get Henry Cavill's group introduced initially, where they just take down a group of Nazis. I thought that was an awesome scene, on the sea. And just the banter with the group. They really, I think one thing I think Guy Ritchie really does well. He knows how to direct people to make it seem like this group of people have known each other for a long time. And that is what a good director does. If you can pull off that, you make it seem like your characters all have they feel like they've known each other. Like, not just they're acting like they've known each other. They legit pull off like you think they've known each other. Like, these guys have already had a relationship. They know each other. They all flow so well. It's pretty funny. And Guy Ritchie knows how to make things funny, but not go into that over the top cringe with it. So, and I think that's one reason I just have, this movie, Operation Fortune, obviously is the best movie, Snatch, all just gentlemen, the show and the movie. Which at some point I'll review the movie. I really do like his stuff. He just seems to just know how to get these group of actors together and just pull like, even Liza Gonzalez character is just fucking hot. Like, I'll admit, it was just nice to just see a straight up hot chick be she should be like in a perfect world, she'd be a Bond girl. She won't be though, just because she's too attractive. Same with like Anna de Armas. They had her for one movie and they just don't do anything with her. But that's a different thing. But it's like in this movie, they let her be a seductress. She was smart. That scene, I know it's a little bit Heinrich. That's the villain's name, Heinrich. Who, I'll admit, he had no presence. Every time he was on screen. And I get it, he's supposed to be an SS general, and I get it. They're not supposed to be a standout kind of villain where they're going to have they're all supposed to be like almost like the Borg in that sense. And I just still feel like you should have given a little bit of character. I know it's a different movie, but Ralph Fiennes in Schindler's List. I know, and that's the only movie you see it, but just the presence he had as the villain in that. Even the villain in Sisu, I would have not mind if they did something like that. I needed the villain to have a bit more screen presence. It just, don't get me wrong, I'm not shitting. Don't think I'm shitting on the movie. It's just I do feel like that's my only real problem I have with the movie. I just think the villain could have just had a little bit of work and just give him a little bit of character. Just that's all. Because not once did even like the scene where you're supposed to feel scared because she's supposed to be basically playing a mole, trying to fool Heinrich so she can find the ship, right? But not once did I feel like I never once felt like, oh, I'm scared for her. You know, you don't like compared to like in Inglorious Bastards where the woman has to basically pose as a Nazi, with um Christoph Waltz. That scene, you're genuinely scared for her. You're scared, like, oh, if she gets caught, you're worried that she might get. I don't feel that here. I don't know. I thought Eliza Gonzalez was great. That scene where she tells them, why I sympathize with the Jew because you don't get the reveal. I love them. I can't remember his name, but the black dude, and he brings the other group of his own, and they all come together and just. That's all this was to me, and I think that's just nice to see, especially in this like divisive kind of world where you've got a lot of these movies that have to always be divisive and divide people. It's just kind of nice to see a movie where you have a group of people, basically all different colors, black, white, different countries too. It's just coming together. Yeah, and I'll admit I've said this before. I'm low key kind of over Nazis being in because it becomes like a meme where Hollywood almost thinks they're the only bad guys in World War II, but it's like you have Japan. I did like that this movie acknowledged Italy because they had to take down Italian ships. So I do like that they did touch on Italy. Because a lot of World War II movies just almost don't even really acknowledge them. And then Japan we used to acknowledge, but then I think part of it is we don't probably, because we're really cool with Japan now, that I almost think we have like a deal with, we're not going to fuck with, mention that stuff anymore in movies. But it's not. I'm not saying you need to mention. I just get burnt out when only World War II thing we can only acknowledge the only bad guy we can really acknowledge is Nazis. Whatever. But in this movie, they don't harp on that. They don't even really mention like the black people with the Nagina and Zaki in Africa. But you don't have like some scenes where they talk about like black oppression or shit like that. It was just them killing Nazis, and that's all it needed to be. It was a fun romp, and that's all it was. I think that's all I needed. She ends up getting, found out. Because there's a scene, and I think she has a pretty good. I don't know if that's her actually singing. That could just be someone else actually singing, for all I know. But I thought she did pretty good if that was her. And then while this is going on, you have like the fucking group just taking on the group, and not, they do the break-in, even though it's unsanctioned. They basically all know if they do this, they can go to jail. But they decide to do it anyway. So they do this mission. It, starts off well, obviously, and then the groups come together. They end up taking down the Nazis. She gets saved. She basically kind of saves herself while the guy saves her. And then they manage to successfully destroy the ships, but obviously they get arrested, and they ended up getting. The movie flows well too. It doesn't feel there's not like I guess there's kind of a down point, but there's not like a down point where you're bored. It's like a down point for maybe like I'd almost say like 10 minutes maybe. Like the down point's very quick because it goes this movie largely. A lot of it is all just set up into different group dynamics, and that's what Guy Ritchie films. A lot of them are. You're not really, there is a plot, but it's more focused, it's character driven than story driven. I'm just going to say it. Guy Ritchie's very much a character driven. I'm not saying he doesn't focus on story. He does. And he does write great stories. I'm just saying he is definitely more story character driven. And that's nothing wrong with that. I think Tarantino to an extent is like that, where just you watch some of these movies, you're watching more for the characters, like, Reservoir Dogs. I know that's Tarantino, but I feel like Guy Ritchie has the same thing. This movie, Operation Fortune, Snatch, Lucky Number 11, which I've only seen once, but has that same like lot of just it's more character focused. And I think there's nothing wrong with that sometimes, just watching a good character driven movie. You're watching the characters almost drive the story, then the story drives the story. And that's kind of what this movie was. So that's why it's not gonna be as much of a dissection of the plot like some of my other reviews, because a lot of it is more character based, and I think they all did well. The speech, that um the speech that Churchill gives in the end is great. I thought it was awesome. I think it really showcased his performance as Churchill. I love Cary Elwes. He's my favorite character in the movie. Just a lot of the time when they're just messaging him back what they're doing is great. I love that stuff. Cary Elwes just in general. I loved him in Operation Fortune. I'm loving this resurgence of Cary Elwes. Just seeing him in a lot of movies lately. Just seeing him kind of make a comeback is good to see. Just seeing Henry Cavill just be able to be himself in a movie and not be held back because the plot decides, we're going to write it and not really be in the movie. Just be pushed aside, which a lot has been happening lately. So it's just nice. You know what? If I was Henry, I would just be like, you know what? Because some bullshit's going on with Warhammer, which I'm not into Warhammer, so I'm not going to really go into that. But just any franchise he's tied to that's just fucks with them. So I would just say, don't do franchise anymore. Just do like stuff like this. Just find directors that are willing to throw you in movies. Maybe try to do another Guy Ritchie movie. To be fucking honest with you, I'd watch another Guy Ritchie kind of movie, like where he actually gets to do shit. Yeah. I think that's what he needs to do. But anyway, so they, it goes well. And because of the mission, they mentioned Pearl Harbor. So America's involved. And then it kind of just has a little bit of, I don't know if you want to call it epilogue, where it goes into the real life history of it. It mentions Ian Fleming, who they do mention earlier in the film, who wrote the Bond book. So pretty much the movie ends with them celebrating in Lewisburg, like a dinner and all that after their victory. So great movie, man. It was definitely one of my favorites of the year. It was just nice to see a movie like this. Guy Ritchie, I'm at a point where I can say I have faith. He's like Tarantino to me, where I know it's gonna be good. It just when I know it's his movie, So 9 out of 10 movie. I definitely recommend it. It's nice to just have a nice, good movie out right now, especially because the year kind of started rough. I'll admit, so it's been nice. At least lately, we're getting a little bit of good movies. This movie, I'll probably watch it tonight, but I'll review it next week. Is the movie called Sting? It's this movie about killer spiders, and I've been hearing it's like a good creature feature. So I'll probably review that like maybe Thursday, because I'm doing Magical Negroes next Wednesday. So I'll probably do that Thursday, or maybe Tuesday. We'll see. I might do Covenant Thursday. We'll see. I'll depend on how it goes. So either Tuesday or Thursday I'll do Sting. But this movie was really good. I'm at least happy to say we've have some good movies lately. This movie, First Omen was last week, so that was pretty good. So at least there's been some good. I'm hoping we're getting a little bit more good. I'm hoping Boy Kills World's pretty fun. That's coming out next week. So I'm hoping Abigail's good. My friend Mara says it's decent, so pretty good. So at least, hopefully, I got some good stuff looking forward to, because there was a lot of shit, I'll admit. There's a point where it was just shit coming out. Anyways, guys, this was good. It was nice just seeing a genuinely well-done movie. Guy Ritchie just always knows how to deliver with characters. Very character-driven movie. Good cast, too. That's the other thing. He knows how to do a casting. He knows how to just put a group of people together and just bring the best out of all of them. And the action was good. I didn't feel it wasn't like a boring movie or at all. I didn't feel like there was a slow point at all. My friend Steph actually brought up something I didn't catch on, I'll admit, when I was watching it, but then I thought about it when she mentioned it. That he made that Alan Richardson's character was kind of gay, because there's little lines he says, and it wasn't it was subtle though. Because oh man, when I didn't, the fact that I didn't catch on the first one kind of shows it. So it's just like, yeah, yeah, it was, but still, he was a badass. They didn't make a big deal. He was gay, especially at the time period it was in. He's a badass dude who was trying to, he was killing Nazis and helping the war effort. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. So overall, great movie, man, and I'm just happy to see we're getting at least decent stuff. Tomorrow, I am reviewing um, Snatch. So that's gonna be awesome. I really think that's one of Guy Ritchie's best film, in my opinion. The cast, characters, just all of them. Vinny Jones, I fucking love him. I love him in that movie. Statham's great. It's not your usual Statham movie because this was a little bit before he became the action guy. Because it was Transporter that kind of pushed him to. He was in the one, but even in the one, he was like a side character. Transporter was like that movie that made him the action star. So at this point, he wasn't full on action guy yet. He wasn't like in this. This was like 2000, I think, when this came out. So he wasn't the Statham we know yet. So I'll be reviewing that tomorrow. So I guess if I want to go into what I got going on next week, Monday I'll be reviewing Abigail. Tuesday I will be reviewing. Sorry. You know what? I'll do Sting Tuesday because since it's a newer movie, I do want to check it out. So I'll be reviewing that Tuesday. Wednesday, I will be doing the American Society of Magical Negroes. I finally found it on the seas, so I'll be watching that. Thursday, I'll be doing The Covenant, and then I think Friday, Boy Kills World comes up, but I'm not seeing that in theaters, so it depends on when that's up. So if it's up by Friday, I'll probably review it Friday. But if not, I'll do something else Friday. But at least so far, that's my plan going into next week. So anyways, guys, this movie was great. Go see it. And I'll talk to you all later. Happy 420.